In this second video on Google Vids, we're just going to talk about a little bit more about the menu options and creating templates for students. Just wanted to draw your attention to the insert menu. Most of this is very similar to what, excuse me, very similar to what you will see in Google Slides, where you can add a video placeholder, which we'll talk about in a moment. Shapes and lines, recording, voiceover, table, chart. You can add new scenes and you can open the templates again. In the last video, we talked a little bit about the media and how you can use lots of different stock media. When you click on a text box, you have the same exact modification menus that you do with Google Slides. Same options here as well. And you can animate the text boxes too, just like you can with the images. Everything on the scene is an object, and every object has its own timing. And when I go to scene, that menu, I can add a new one. It will be blank. I can add something from a template. I can customize my styles and apply any styles that I have customized, which I don't have any right now. I can duplicate this and then just change the content. I can delete it and I can split it at playhead, which I discussed a little bit in the last video. I can modify the background and I can modify the transition. And the transition is what's between the two scenes. So if I drag my playhead back this way, you can see, if I go slow, that the transition set between the first scene and the second scene is a slide up. If I click on that, it's, well, push up, I guess, and it's going up and down. But this is, see, the direction here is up. If I change that, it will go down. So then it pushes it down. So that's how you modify the transitions between, just like you would modify the transitions between two slides in a Google Slides, in a presentation. You also have the same menu items over here, the insert menu, on the right-hand side for convenience. Some of the options to arrange your objects are very similar to what you would see in Google Slides. If I often work in Google Slides, so if I wanted to add, let's say I'm going to add some text, and I'm just going to do a regular title. Move that so you can see it. And I wanted these two things to align by the center. If I hold Control and select both of them, now they're both selected. Alternatively, I can click and drag to select them both. And if I right-click on that, I can align them horizontally, I can align them vertically, or I can group them. I can rotate them, I can change the order, just like I can in Google Slides or any other kind of object editing platform like PowerPoint or the Adobe Photoshop. Sorry, I was drawing a blank there. So as promised in my last video, I was going to show you how to create a template and then assign it in Google Classroom, just like you would with a Google Doc. You can create a template in Google Docs and then make a copy for every student in Google Classroom. You can do the same thing with a Google Vid. And one nice thing, I'm going to add a new scene just so you can see what I'm doing. I can insert a placeholder. So if I want my students to insert a video of themselves talking or one that they took, you can insert that. And then when they get their own copy and they click select a video, it will help them to upload or upload a video or use stock media to enter that there. Students can also record themselves. If I click on Insert Recording, this is my webcam right now. So they can record the webcam. They can record their screen and the webcam so I can see both here. Don't love it. That's okay. And then I can just share my screen without the, you see down here, you don't see my webcam down there. And I can choose which tab or screen to record, just like you would with Screencastify or the Screencast app on the Chromebook. And then I can choose just audio. So if I click record here, it gives me a nice little countdown. And now I'm recording my audio, just audio. So you could do this with a podcast or a voiceover, so to speak, if kids are creating some kind of informal or if kids are creating some kind of informational project, PSA, or explaining, what's on their slide, they can do it that way, this way. And once I insert that, it inserts it wherever this playhead was, but I can move that. I can change it, move it, drag it around. And right now there's like a little box around it, purple box. It's hard to see. And that just means that that is as much as the scenes are going to allow it to play. So if I want to extend the video to the end of my audio, I would have to grab the scene and extend that out. I went a little too far. If I zoom out on the timeline, I have a little bit more so that I can see it. So zooming out on the timeline makes the time hashes smaller so that you see more of it. And if I zoom in, now I'm seeing it by more like the second instead of the instead of the minutes. So if I really want to get down into the timing of things, really, really minute details, I'm going to zoom in. But if I don't need the minute details and I just want to do general timing, then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. It's easier to work with, easier to move things around when the timeline is zoomed out. Okay, so once you have a template that you've created, and maybe each scene has a different kind of piece of information on it where you want students to, have an introduction on the first slide, and on the second slide, an outline, and on the third slide, they might give an analysis of something or a chart and explaining the chart, and so on and so forth. You make a template. You can add your text boxes and all that. You could say, enter title here. And then once you're done, make sure you name it. Template for grade 7, ELA project, whatever it is. Then you're going to go to Google Classroom and create an assignment. And this is very easy. Just like you've done it with other things, click Google Drive. And I will attach the Google Vid from my Google Drive. And instead of students can view, I'm going to make a copy for every student. And this will take whatever I have in this project and make a complete copy of it. Everything will be exactly the same, and then students can edit it for their own project and their own content. So super simple when you do it that way. So I am going to stop this video, and in the next video, I might cover some of the more intermediate things that you can do with Google Vids.